Thank you, member. Recognizing the member from Kelowna Centre.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Across British Columbia, women and families are carrying a burden they should never have to bear, fighting, sometimes publicly, sometimes desperately, for medical care that should be there when they need it. We all know our healthcare system is strained, but when women, mothers, and even children must turn to the media, to MLAs, and to public pressure just to access the most basic care, the system is no longer strained. It is failing them. You remember Lyndsay Richelt, a young mother from Kelowna who's been on the liver transplant waitlist for more than 10 months. In April, doctors told her that without a transplant, she had 6 months to live. 6 months, an already devastating timeline for any family. October came and went, her time had expired, and still nothing had happened. Despite her prognosis, despite the urgency, and despite her deteriorating health, Lyndsay waited and waited and waited. It took media attention and direct MLA involvement before a date was finally set on November 10th. Her surgery is now scheduled for December 10th. This family has lived month after agonizing month, knowing that hope depended not just on medical need, but on whether someone in the system could be compelled to act. Honourable Speaker, no one should need a media campaign to stay alive. Then there's 9-year-old Charlie Polack, now 10 years old, a child with Batten disease, a rare and fatal disease, whose family was thrust into a battle no parent should have to fight. Instead of spending their energy caring for their daughter, they found themselves navigating bureaucracy, appealing, advocating, and ultimately going public so she could receive the medication that her medical team knew would prolong and improve the rest of her time. A life-enhancing medication for a child should not require headlines before it's approved. Her parents did what any loving parents would do. They fought, but they shouldn't have had to. And then we have the everyday stories that never make the news. A woman in Kelowna, likely facing cancer, recently learned the wait time for her diagnostic ultrasound is 6 months. 6 months just to find out what she's fighting. 6 months of fear, uncertainty, and potentially lost time. Time that could mean the difference between early intervention and late-stage disease. A woman from here on this island fled, not once, but twice, to the US to access life-saving care. Torva Logan. Her story is public. She's speaking up because she doesn't want this to happen to anyone else. These stories are not outliers. They are symptoms of a system that is asking British Columbians to carry too much of a burden. Women, in particular, are being told implicitly and explicitly to wait longer, to push harder, to accept wait times and delays, or to come back if it gets worse. And far too often, it does get worse. Women should not need to take binders of documents to be taken seriously. Parents should not have to stand in front of cameras to secure care for their child. A mother should not have to watch the calendar tick past her own medical deadline before the system moves. And women should not have to run to the US or Mexico to access care. Honourable Speaker, this is not what trust in a healthcare system looks like. This is survival through advocacy. Advocacy born not out of empowerment, but desperation. British Columbians should never have to rely on advocacy to access essential medical care. A healthcare system is supposed to catch people when they fall, not make them prove their worthiness or persistence before offering help. Lyndsay did everything right. Charlie's parents did everything right. The woman waiting 6 months for an ultrasound is told that help is not likely to come in time. Torva knows she is one of the many that the system has failed, but she's one of the few that can still speak. When British Columbians must rely on public pressure, political pressure, or media pressure to get the care they need, that is not a functioning healthcare system. That is a system that is stretched past its moral limits. Honourable Speaker, women and families in this province deserve more than words. They deserve timely diagnostics, equitable treatment and a system that listens the first time, not after a crisis, not after an expose, and not after an MLA steps in. Because at its heart, the truth is painfully simple. It should not be this hard, not for any person in British Columbia. Thank you.